this is what problem 2 should look like in your project. Problem 2 tells me to factor using the x factor x squared minus 10x plus 25. So at the top I put 25 because 1 times 25 is 25. And then I put negative 10, which is b, at the bottom. I have to multiply to 25 and add to negative 10. Those two numbers are negative 5. And I have my factors. I can stop, and this is what y'all love to do. You love to find the numbers and stop. The reason I have the right to stop here is because a is 1. When a is other than 1, you cannot stop. And the reason I say that, the previous example, a was 4, so we had to do what? Divide by 4. So here, a is not 4, a is 1. When a is 1, you stop. When a is anything other than 1, you keep going. You have to divide by whatever a is. Okay. Now that we've talked about the factors, let's take those factors and find the zeros. You set them equal to 0, change the sign, make it cancel, solve for x. We notice that I get the same answer for both zeros. That makes it a double root. That makes it one solution. Okay, so how do we do that in the calculator? Let's graph it. X squared, because I did it by hand, but it says or using the calculator, so I want to do that. X squared minus 10x plus 25. There's my graph. I want to find the zeros using the calculator. So, menu, analyze the graph, and what do you see? 0. You don't even have to press anything, it's already there. Enter. Go to the left of the 0. The 0 is here. So to the left, click. That's what lower bound means. Now it says upper bound. So scroll over until you see a dot. Click again. You have your answer, and it won't move unless you move it. You have to click though to finalize it. So I see that it's 5. It matches. That's what I wanted it to be. Found it using the calculator. Now we go and use another method of finding the zeros. Okay, so I've already shown you this one. I just showed you that. Let's talk about another method, and you can write that method here. It says or menu 331. That is in the calculator screen. Menu 3 for algebra, 3 for polynomial tools, and 1 for polynomial tools 1 to find the roots. When you get this screen, it's set for what we want, so press enter. Now we plug in A, B, and C. And although it says A2, A1, A0, you still plug in A, B, and C. And A is 1, B is negative 10, and C is positive 25 for me. And press enter until you get here. When you see this screen, press enter one more time, and then there are your roots. So I have verified that what I did here, I got the same answers in this box down here, bottom left, and that's what I want you to do. So you would draw the screens of whatever method you chose. Please remember that if you use the calculator method here, you can use the calculator method here. You can use the quadratic formula here at the bottom if you want, even though it says use a different calculator method. Just write that on there. I'm okay with that. Now let's do the graphing. We now have the roots, so I plot 5, 0. Let me write that on here. 5, 0. Those are my roots. Okay. Let's do the y-intercept. The y-intercept is 25. But I noticed that I don't have enough lines, so I changed the scale. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. There it is. Then I find my vertex. Well, negative b over 2a. Plug in negative 10 for b, and then put the negative from the formula. Sorry about that, that's lunch. Put it all over 2, equals 10 over 2, which is 5, which is what I wanted. Because a double root and vertex will always be the same. Plug in the 5 here and here, and now I have 0, and I just found my vertex, 5, 0. It matches, it's supposed to, for this problem only. I plot it, I note that it's the vertex, so then I draw my axis of symmetry, I draw my minimum, and then I try to draw my graph. And then I realize, I say, oh, wait a minute, I'm missing a point over here. Well, this is 5 boxes this way, so it's going to be 5 boxes that way. And then I finish sketching, and I labeled everything, and now I'm done. You'll do that for this project. For problems 3, you can choose this method, and that's how you would document that you use the calculator, or you can use this method. Raise your hand if you have questions, because some of you watched this in class. If you're at home and you have a question, make sure you kick me and I'll answer it.